Dr. Bob lives in New York. He's a very highly regarded acupuncturist, homeopathic doctor. Folks travel from all over to see him. I introduced AIO to him. He was very skeptical at first, and it's actually become his fastest-selling product. He can't keep it in stock. So, Dr. Bob, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, great. Okay, wonderful. So, Dr. Bob, if you could just share with everyone, I know you've had AIO now, it's been about a year, actually, just everything, from the beginning, how you were skeptical and what you've seen and the results. And
Well, I'm a practitioner. You get inundated pretty much with new supplements all the time. Everyone's trying to sell you something. On top of that, you're always trying to look for something anyway, so it's rather overwhelming. And when Susan introduced me to the AIO, to me it just looked like another juice. There's 1,000 juices. You walk down to the health food store and you see so many different juice products, and I said, fine, all these juices may be good, but I've never found any of them really to be consistently therapeutic. In other words, many people would take these juices or tell me they took juices, and you'd always find someone who had this miracle cure. But it was never, if you tried them on patients, they were never consistently reported back that so many people would get well. You always get a few getting well. So I always left those juice products to basically the patients to buy on their own. I never really tried to use them anymore. Anyway, after I tried so many of them, I never tried to use them as an actual therapy. What turned me around with the AIO was my own daughter. She had a pituitary tumor, and this really wrecked her life. She had no period. She was 22 at the time, and she is now 23. She's 22 at the time, and she's had no period all her life. And we've been to many therapies, many supplements. She even took the medications prescribed for it and still could not produce a period. But it was much worse than that because she also had depression, stomach pain, no appetite, poor sleep, fatigue, and severe acne. And her hair was brittle, and things just weren't going well. This poor kid was miserable. And despite everything I tried or the people I brought her to, nothing was really working. And she got so fed up after a while, she just kind of said, I don't know how I'm going to live with this, but she wanted to live with it. And then this AIO came across me, like Susan, and I said, what the heck? You never give up, as you shouldn't anyway, the patient. You never give up to the practitioner anyway. So I said, look, just try this. And she was afraid of supplementation because she said, many times the supplements I gave her made the tumor worse. Our prolactin levels would go higher. So she was afraid of supplements. So I said, she looked at this one and said, it just looks like a bunch of juices anyway. It just looks like a whole food, so we'll try it. 10 days after taking this, she had her first period in her life. She has had 13 straight periods on AIO. And this is the only supplement she takes. It not only did she get her period, but it cleared up her acne, made her hair better, got rid of her stomach pain, brought her appetite back, and over the long haul, actually helped her sleep rather significantly. But when I saw it work so fast on her, I was suffering with a severe kind of an arthritic problem in 3 joints, my right thumb joint, my shoulder, my clavicle. In many years I've tried everything, practitioners and so forth, none of them ever worked. And I decided to try this. And it took a little longer than 10 days. It took maybe a month and a half, 2 months. But I've been thriving on this AIO to the point where, I can lift weights and exercise, and I just don't have the pain. Even if the joints are still deformed, I don't have the pain I once had. I might have little bouts here and there, but nothing like I used to, 90-something% fixed. So I started to give it to a lot of patients. And the reports come back all the time, over and over, that this has turned out to be an actual therapeutic substance. This is as if I'm giving something as a therapy, not just as a foundation, like a lot of these things are. Take this as a foundation that's going to create all this, antioxidant effect, and it's going to create all this, nice basic things that will do for the body. This is actually created therapy. I have people come in with arthritis, or people come in, not really so much digestive problems, but people come in with energy problems, or a lot of inflammation in their body, or depression, or sleep problems. One person, warts disappeared on them after giving him the AIO. I personally had a wart on my thumb I could never get rid of. I had a friend that was burned off and so forth. It disappeared. Nobody knew even though I have it anymore. And again, patients will call me. It's the only supplement I've ever given where patients will call me and say, can you send me, more of it, but I need more for my husband because he tried it and he feels so much better on it. Or I need more for my kid or my wife or my girlfriend. And what happens is the sales keep going up because more people stay on it and want to give it to other people as well. And so now what happens, I do a technique called heart rate variability analysis. It's an autonomic nervous system test. And when I see people very depleted on this test, and it's a clear test in terms of validated by Columbia College of Physicians and Surgeons, it's an actual visual test of the nervous system to show how depleted the body is. When I see it that depleted, the first supplement I give is AIO, and you will see actual changes on this examination. I had and improvement in symptoms. I had a person just tonight came to me after only on the stuff for 2 weeks, and she was pretty burnt out in terms of she was very hyper, maybe a woman around 40. She was very, ADD. She's actually on ADD medication. Very hyper internally, very fatigued at the same time. I gave her an adrenal test and showed her utter adrenal exhaustion. This woman, in 2 weeks, she says she cannot believe the results in terms of her energy and her sense of calmness with this. Now, yes, I treat her too, but people literally point out the fact that this AIO is responsible for a lot of the improvements they're making. They actually name it and say, I need 2 more bottles of that. We have it in travel bottles, so I don't do without it. So it's given me a rather good experience in terms of a first-line therapy. So I don't have to give as many fancy products as I once did initially. In the beginning, you're giving a lot of different products to people because you're trying to not only fix the underlying causes, but you're trying to alleviate their symptoms too. Now I literally start off with this because this helps with an awful lot of people. I don't have to pile on a lot of supplementation. I'll get specific as time goes by if they don't get enough improvement. But this is a really, really incredible product in terms of the satisfaction patients get and the satisfaction we get as a practitioner. So I'm very happy with it, and if anything, the sales are going up with it over time. So that's basically the story.
Yeah. So, Dr. Bob, I know have you seen any improvement in hormones?
Oh yeah, that specifically. People will tell me who have PMS or who have literally will test endocrine deficient with their adrenal, thyroid, pituitary, hypothalamus, and you'll see improvements in function in those specific areas of the body as evidenced by the symptomatic changes that they get, and not just on other testing you might do, but on the symptomatic changes that you get that those imbalances might be responsible for. So, there's just many, many things that I think it's useful for. And obviously it's because of the stem cell enhancing properties. Because you can stimulate sufficient numbers of stem cells, they will migrate to the area of greatest injury and start, doing considerable repair. It just makes my job easier in terms of adding other supplements when I have to, because their effects are pretty much in such a high level noticeable enough that I feel this is a good therapeutic substance. And for some people, it makes such a difference that they feel it's all they need. So, we never just give them that, but it's something that just people are very happy with. I've seen people whose hair were falling out, the hair falling out reversed, fingernails started to grow better, some skin conditions would start to clear up. Quite a number of things, actually.
Yeah, so that is phenomenal. So what I'm hearing from you is, yeah.
You have to call for a second. I'll get right back on it.
Oh, well, that's okay. I'm going to let Dr. Glassman come on, but what I did hear from you, you've seen everything from skin to hormones.